Hi viewers, another episode of Guest with Nasir. We are honored. Today's guest is a great personality from Pakistan. He has done a fantastic job. Today we will share his thoughts, his views, and his early career. One and only Dr. Muhammad Amjad Saqib. Thank you very much, Dr. Saab.
Extremely obliged and grateful to you, Nazir Saab, for your kind invitation to discuss issues about poverty, about education, about women empowerment, about social development. So all those things, I will be extremely, candid and will be willing to share what we have done in past 25 years.
Mohammed, please share with our viewers your early days and your education.
Yeah, I was born and raised in a very small city in Pakistan, that is in Punjab. And I got my early education from a school, which was not a very, a school which the privileged people, the son and daughters go to. It was a very dilapidated condition, there were no proper rooms or toilets or the four walls or the doors. So it was a school where most children of Pakistan go to. So I got early education, but luckily I got extremely kind and visionary teachers right from my early childhood who trained me, who gave me the best lessons and not only education, but they also developed a vision for me, and they were so inspiring that I feel indebted that in my early days, I was under their shadow. So I continued my journey, and then I was able to get admission in one of the best institutions for my, college education, and that is the Government College Lahore, which has more than 150 years of history, and many great personalities of the subcontinent got education from here. So from Government College, I learned a lot. All my career now rests and anchors on the education which I got from Government College. I got not only education, but many leadership skills and abilities and qualities. And I especially, was introduced to the thought of our national poet, Allama Muhammad Iqbal, in those days, because he was also once a student in that college, and he also taught in that college as well. So from Government College, I moved on to King Edward Medical College for my medical education, and I completed my 5 years degree in Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, MBBS. So that is the first phase of my life. Having completed my education in medicine, suddenly I realized that this is not a suitable profession for me. I thought that I may not be able to reach at the highest, level or echelons because medicine was not, fully aligned with my own, aptitude and way of life. So I took another courageous, I would call it rebellious and courageous decision, and I told my father that you wanted me to become a doctor, but this is not my preferred area. So I convinced him that it is better to become something else instead of a unsuccessful medical graduate. So he ultimately yielded to my request, and then I decided to test my luck in the competitive examination. This is one of the very prominent careers in Pakistan.
CSS.
Yeah, CSS. That is the Civil Services Examination. So I prepared myself for that exam, and I, Alhamdulillah, scored very well. And then I, reached Civil Services Academy, where we got the training, for this career. So I served around 18 years, and that was again a very, unique experience. And during that period, I also got an opportunity to go to United States for my master's degree in international development and public administration. So I was placed at Washington, D.C. So I got an opportunity to, see the best institutions in the world, American Congress, and many other political, social, administrative, departments. And I got interested in American history. I don't know why, but that fascinated me. And once I started reading American history, I was introduced to, great people like Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and many others. So I was able to appreciate that how in a wilderness and in a, deserts and oceans and plains and valleys, how a new civilization emerged within a span of 300 years.
That's such a long journey, but all of a sudden you moved to microfinance. It was totally different subject and totally different world. A civil servant who has a very, I would say, luxurious life. He has protocols. He has a very, very, smart policeman moving around with him. He has a driver. He has a government house. So all of a sudden you move to this career. So what was the moment when you decided to do this?
Yeah, once I returned from the United States, then I started thinking that whatever I have learned, so I should practice those things, and I should work in the field of development for poverty alleviation and empowerment of the most marginalized sections of society. So gradually I realized that this job, the civil servant's job, is not a right place for me. So, once I had already experienced, as I told you, that while I completed my medicine degree, so again, the same feelings. And I thought that maybe the best time for me is yet to come. And the best profession is somewhere else. So I decided to quit, because it's better, to quit if you are not fully engaged and fully satisfied with any profession. You are right to some extent that it's a very, this profession is very preferred and a great, fanfare, and there are so many protocols and privileges attached with this. But I, right from the beginning, wanted to do something extraordinary and something which is directly benefiting the poor people, which is something which is helping to build the society. We all live a very good and privileged life, but our life would remain unfulfilled if we don't share the same life with others. In Pakistan, around 20 million children are out of school. So this is the real challenge. And 40% people live below the poverty line. So this is the challenge. Education, health, clean drinking water, sanitation. So all these things are to be tackled unless we, come with a formula and with a plausible solution. We will never be able to make a better society in Pakistan. So these were different ideas, and whatever I have learned and exposed to in my, foreign visit and education. So I once again decided to resign, and then we laid the foundation of Akhuwat, which is a poverty alleviation mechanism and uses microfinance as its strategy. And I'm sure our listeners would be knowing that microfinance means providing small loans to the poor people so that they can start a business and they can stand on their own feet. So this is a very plausible and successful strategy for poverty alleviation throughout the world. More than 150 countries, this strategy of financial inclusion is utilized to fight poverty.
So this is your project is unique in a way. Sorry for interruption. That you are not charging any interest to the people who are utilizing your facility. This is great achievement.
Yeah, we, right from the beginning, as a student of development, I thought that anything which is not with reference to the local context. So that cannot be a sustainable development model. You know, we introduced a new idea in microfinance. In microfinance, there are very heavy service charges, and you will be surprised to know that around 20 to 30% are the service charges on annual basis. So we thought that if we give poor a loan which is without interest, that will give him better opportunity to come out of poverty. You know, let me explain what is interest-free loan. Interest-free loan, we call it Qarz Hasan, or benevolent loan. You know, if you give your friend or your brother or your sister $100, and whenever one needs that, so you will take back the $100. You will not ask him or her to give you $110. So getting back $100 while giving $100. So this is interest-free loan. This is benevolent loan. This is Qarz Hasan. And we said that we should consider these poor people as our brothers and sisters. So instead of charging interest, if we are helping them through these interest-free loans, these will be more beneficial. Moreover, it is fully aligned to our faith because, you know, in all Abrahamic religions, interest is forbidden, and this is seen as a, you know, waging war against Allah Almighty. So this was a new innovation which we introduced in microfinance, that we will give loans which will be absolutely interest-free. And we began this program with the first loan of $100 only that was given to a woman who purchased 2 sewing machines with those $100 and started stitching clothes. And exactly after 6 months, she came back to me and returned those $100. And she narrated a very promising story. She told me that with this money, she was not only able to sustain her family, but she was also able to marry one of her daughters. And not only she earned money, but she was able to save the principal amount and returned it to me with a smile on her face. So that was the beginning. That was the, breath of fresh air. Just as you call it, a drop of ocean, first drop in the ocean. And our journey started from there on. Cutting short that journey, I will be too happy to tell you that after 20 years, from starting from the first loan, we have been able to disburse more than 4 million loans. And
how many people have benefited in total, rough estimate?
4 million loans means we give a loan to one family. So in a family, there are 5 or 6 people. The national average in Pakistan is around 7. So if we, consider 6 people in a family, so you can call it 23 or 24 million people have directly benefited from these loans. Because when we give a loan to a family, the most skilled person within the family starts his business, and the benefits accruing from that business are spread throughout the family. So maybe a mother or father will be able to do a business, but whatever they earn would be shared by the whole family.
And how you generate this money? Because obviously it's a huge fund you are generating and helping people around the country. So what is the source of funds?
The entire concept is based on mutual support or brotherhood, as you introduced Akhuwat. Akhuwat means brotherhood or solidarity with the poor. So we have created a fund, which is a revolving loan fund. So we inspire the well-to-do people or the philanthropists and the donors to donate some money in that fund. We are the custodian of that revolving fund, and then we identify the people who need some financial resources to start a business. So we, as custodian of that fund, transfer that money to the poor people. So the entire funding is done by the civil society. We believe that in Pakistan, 50% people are haves and 50% people are have-nots. So if we are able to bridge these two sections of society, if we are able to bring them together, one person from this section of haves and one person from this section of have-nots, So this is adaptation. This is, one person saying that, oh, I'm better placed in life, but I would like at least one person in my life to be, acquainted with me, to be friend with me, and that will be my extended family, and I will give him or her interest-free loan through Akhuwat. So this
So
is
this
the model.
fund, sorry for interruption again. So this fund, let's say a business community has given you some money to share with the poor people who can start their startup business or their lifestyle, and they can invest this money in a small business. So this fund, after some years, so you gave back to the original people who have given you this money.
No, no. This is not, we don't take this money on loan from those people. They give it as a permanent grant that is permanently donated to Akhuwat's revolving fund. And we continuously revolve this amount by giving to the poor people. The best thing is that our recovery percentage is more than 99. So which means whatever amount we have raised, we disperse it as loans, and the same amount comes back without any default or delinquency. So the more people continuously give, the people continuously give more and more money. The fund is increasing every day. I'm sure by listening to this talk today, maybe a few of your listeners would be inspired with this story and would like to have a bond of solidarity with somebody in Pakistan. So if they give money, $100, $200, pounds, whatever the amount it is, we will be then, recycling and revolving this amount by giving these loans to the poor throughout the Pakistan.
So this is a seed which creates so many plants or trees, we will call it.
Absolutely. The basic idea is based on two assumptions. Assumption number one is that people are willing to help the poor, so they can give some money. And the assumption number two is that the poor are credit worthy, trustworthy, bank worthy, and they will not default and they will return the money. So these were the two assumptions in the beginning, but now these are two, principles for us. These are the universal principles because we have experienced that beginning from $100, we have reached, 1,000 million US dollars. So this is the, richness of our society. This is the compassion in our society that people.
So do you have overseas Pakistanis donors who are helping your project?
Yeah, absolutely. We are extremely grateful and we truly appreciate the overseas Pakistanis for their love and for their compassion. We are registered as a legal charity in the United Kingdom and in the United States. And anybody who wants to donate some money would be able to do that through legal means. And he and she will have the tax exemption as well. So there is a plenty of scope in Europe, in the UK, in America, because people have a tremendous love and care for their brothers and sisters in Pakistan. And I always say that Pakistan lives in their hearts wherever they go. So we expect them to be our donors and to share their prosperity and help the people in Pakistan.
And a lot of people share their wealth by way of zakat, so they gave money to charities. And I'm sure they will also consider your charity as well.
Yeah, in our religion, zakat is compulsory, but you can donate more than that. That is the sadaqah, or khairat, or atiyat, or donations. So there is no limit of giving, and whosoever wants to be near his or her God is, obviously would be willing to give money because that is the best way to, please your Allah Almighty.
And plus point is I've observed and I've noticed when I was doing some research on your project that you are helping everybody without the difference of color, creed, race, or religion. That's a great thing. But now we are moving forward towards your educational project because of the time restraint. So please share with our viewers what educational level you are covering. Are you starting from the primary education or degree education or university level? and please share quickly about the educational project because people are anxious
You
to
know,
know about it.
Nazir Sahab, when we were successful, alhamdulillah, in interest-free lending, so we started thinking that, yes, this microfinance is critically important for poverty alleviation, but ultimate salvation of a nation is in education, especially in higher education. So Pakistan is lagging behind because we are lagging behind in higher education. So we started thinking that if a loan can be without interest, then education should be without fee. We created another kind of a product that we will give you higher education and you will pay the fee after 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. Because the current model is first pay the fee and then go to the university. But we have, changed it. We say that first get education, get something in your life, and then once you are able to reciprocate and pay back, then pay your fee. So this is the basic model. And we run more than 300 primary schools as well. But our ultimate destination is creating a world-class university where we get the best of the best people from. They are not poor in in terms of talent or ability. Obviously, they don't have the resources to pay the fee, but there are very brilliant people, very brilliant young men and women, and we take them after 10 years of classes, 10 years of schooling, and then we give them the best education. They might become doctors, engineers, IT professionals, whatever field you may like.
So this university will be based in Islamabad, I believe?
No, this is, we have 4 campuses currently, but primarily we are going to build it near Lahore, that is another city, Kasur. But it doesn't matter whether it is in Lahore or Kasur or Peshawar or Islamabad, because all students who will be studying here will be residential. They will be residing there.
So with the hostel facilities?
We have fixed the quota for every province, for all 4 provinces of Pakistan, Balochistan, Sindh, KP, Punjab. And then we have also students from tribal areas and Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Kashmir especially. So those students coming from different areas, so they will need residential and hostel facilities. So this is a residential institution and with equal representation from all parts of Pakistan. Currently, there are more than 50 districts which are represented over here. The students speak 14 languages. They are Hindus, Christians, Sikh, Muslims. So absolutely no discrimination.
You're also, Dr. Saab, you're doing a fantastic project about the School of Hospitality. Please quickly share about those thoughts.
That is our next project. We are currently, as I told you, that IT, pre-medical, pre-engineering, all those sections, and biotechnology, economics, and business and IT. But recently we have decided to establish a School of Hospitality and Tourism, because we see there is plenty of scope and opportunity in future for this discipline. And Pakistan is a beautiful country, and I'm sure you will always be inviting your British friends to come to Pakistan and enjoy the weather over here, the mountains and the valleys and the sea and the rivers and all those things. So we think tremendous potential in future in hospitality and tourism industry in Pakistan. So we want to train more and more people, more and more young men, so that we can fill the gap.
Are you linking this school of hospitality with any international university, or it will be linked with Akhuwat University?
No, obviously, in the beginning, we will be giving the degree from after affiliation with a local university, but this is on our cards, and we are thinking of linking within 2-3 years. Once we reach an acceptable level, a good standard, then we might be getting it affiliated with any university in UK, in Switzerland, or anywhere else, especially which is working in the areas of hospitality and tourism.
Because of time restraint, Dr. Saab, we are short of time, but inshallah, in coming days, when you will be in the UK, we will do a special episode, and it's my promise, I will visit your university and we will record your interview in your university premises. Thank you very much for joining me, and it was a great honor for me to have you in my show.
Thank you very much, Nazir. I truly appreciate, and I'm looking forward the day when you will be interacting with the students in our university, and we are sharing other good news and optimism and hope with our friends, especially those who come from Pakistan and they're always thinking about development and progress of Pakistan.
And what is your message at the end for our viewers internationally?
You know, my message is the message of brotherhood and solidarity. If this world comprises of 8 billion people, 4 billion people are haves and 4 billion people are have-nots. So there are two, sections. So if the 4 billion which are haves decide to adopt 4 billion who are, not haves.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. It was a great message.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Sorry for the interruption because of the time restraint. We have to finish it here, but inshallah, we'll join you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.